Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
And of course, we know it can be pretty tough deciding with your aging loved ones, perhaps your parents, your grandparents, when it's time to hand over the keys. Joining us right now with some advice for the families, Executive Director of Elder Help, Leanne Marchese, and also Dr. Flora Danque of Alvarado Hospital. Thank you, ladies, for joining us, first of all.
Thank you.
A lot of people are talking about this. I wanted to get your take, first of all. What's the biggest problem out there on the road with elderly drivers? We don't want to put a target on them, but we can't avoid what's actually happening, the facts out there. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are basically that you're having someone, not all elderly people are like this, but there's memory problems, and I'm not just talking about misplacing your keys. There's also critical thinking, processing problems that are going on. Can they make a crucial decision when there's a ladder in front of them or a kid running into the street on the side? There's mobility issues like we just saw in this segment before.
Right.
There is vision problems, so due to cataracts and loss of peripheral vision. So there's a lot of issues.
And when do folks realize it? Because a lot of them are, they're independent. They want to get out there. They want to do their thing. How can you tell? For example, my parents are in their early 70s. How am I going to tell them? And I got to be honest with you. I'm nervous when they drive out from the desert to visit me. It's a 2-hour drive. How do I tell them at some point, maybe it's time?
You have to have that crucial conversation with them. You have to tell them about their concerns. A lot of people, that's what's interesting, is that when you're worried and they're not, that's when you really should be worried. Okay.
I mean, there's anxiety, there's increased anger in the car, and I've seen that in my father in particular. I wanted to bring in Leanne here a little bit. What's your take? What are you guys doing to help out with this, and how bad is the problem, first of all, in your opinion?
Well, transportation is the biggest issue for seniors.
Yeah.
It's the #1 issue out there. It's the issue that says, I'm now going to be a prisoner in my own home when I can't drive. My own father, the man who taught me how to drive, I've had to have that conversation with him, and it's really scary. And I think to keep that independence is key for people. So Elder Help, we have a great transportation program for seniors. They can call up, they can keep their independence, but it is a very hard decision, and it's one that senior really has to make along with the family. But it's the #1 issue for seniors.
And when at Elder Help specifically, when you get people coming over for the first time, what do they say? Is it something that, oh, maybe I should have done this a long time ago? Is it something that just kind of clicks?
Yeah, we had a woman just last week. She said, you know what, I have my car, but I'm scared to drive my car. So I would really like to have someone come and pick me up and give me a ride.
Yeah, and in reading a lot of, in researching this, I found that a lot of older folks end up deciding on their own that it's time. Have you found that to be true?
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, with your parents, it's not as though we can just decide for them. And I think that even working with physicians and partners together, you can come together, but it really has to be the senior's decision.
I found it just a couple of days ago, I didn't know this existed, on the DMV's website. There's actually a page where you can, for lack of a better word, report elderly drivers. Flora, tell me about this.
We're mandated reporters as physicians, so we absolutely have to report
We are as well. Yeah. We've had to, our care managers have had to call up the DMV and report some of our clients or members occasionally, and it's a very hard decision to make, but sometimes you have to do it, especially when there's no family.
Yeah, you have to do, they're not going to hear exactly what they want to hear, but what they need to hear.
The statistic that, we've seen this on the news so much, that's what's troubling. After teenagers, drivers over the age of 65 are the most dangerous age group behind the wheel. And if you look at a graph, you can see the number of accidents, teenagers up here, and then in middle life it kind of comes down, but when the older you get, it goes right back up.
Exactly.
Anything we can do to change this? Laws. Different states have different laws with this. What can we do?
Well, there's a lot of programs, obviously, with Leanne's program, Elder Help, but there's also going to the automobile club dealerships, making sure their car fits correctly, that their seatbelt's not going across their neck, that they can actually, the steering wheel's at the right place, that the headrest is at the right place. There's those programs. There's also AARP has a program where they have mature driving schools, and they can get a discount on their insurance if they do things like that, do classes. And there's this cool computer program now that Proset Science makes out, and it's on driving.
I wanted to get your opinion quickly on renewing licenses for elderly drivers. Does more need to be done? Because right now you can re-up, at least in California, without showing up in person, without doing what's your take?
Yeah, I mean, we've met with the DMV. In fact, we're partnering with the DMV to kind of be there when they have someone who can't drive. It is one of the major concerns of the Department of Motor Vehicles. They send a medical, first they'll send a medical form out to the senior and their family to be filled out. Then they have to go do the test. I think that what people can do now is, and families, is try to identify places where you can actually get that independence and freedom in driving. And Elder Help and our Concierge Club is definitely one of those places that people can call.
Perfect. Leanne Marchese and Flora Danque, we thank you very much. We know it's tough with our parents and our grandparents, but there's a crossroads for everything. So we appreciate you ladies coming on this morning.
Thank you.
All right, Chrissy, over to you.